Today, Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar will discuss about the mergers, acquisitions, and the restructuring. In this chapter, we will discuss about the introduction, reason and rationales for the mergers and acquisition, gains from the mergers or the synergy, accounting for the amalgamation, problems of the merger and acquisition in India, mergers in the specific sectors, acquisitions and the takeover by the reverse bid, the acquisition process, defending a company in a takeover bid, legal aspects of the merger and acquisition, due diligence, target valuation of the merger and acquisition, corporate restructuring, final restructuring, merger failures or the potential adverse competitive effects, acquiring for the shares, cross-border merger and acquisition, decade of corporate churning and challenge. ये these topics, ये सारे topics आज डिस्कस किए जाएंगे. The most talked about the subject of the day is the merger and acquisition. In developed economy, corporate mergers and acquisition are the regular feature. In the developed company, corporate generally mergers and acquisition are the regular feature. In Japan, the US and Europe, hundreds of the mergers and acquisition takes place every year. In India too, mergers and acquisition have become part of the corporate strategy today. Mergers, acquisition, and corporate restructuring business in India has grown by the leaps and bounded in the last decade. From about 4.5 billion in 2004, the market for the corporate control zoomed to the 13 billion in 2005 and reached to record of the 55 billion in 2010. The tremendous growth was attributed to the fact that the foreign investors were looking for an alternative destination, preferable a growing economy, as their one country was reeling under the pressure of the recession. But the year 2011 saw a slowdown in the merger and acquisition activity in India, whence deal value fell to about 44 billion. 64 deals. The situation became worse more in the 2012 when deals value further slipped to the about 35 billion 598 deals. This was caused by the tough macroeconomic climate created due to the Eurozone crisis and the other domestic regions such as inflation, fiscal deficit, and the current depreciation. Government initiated some tough measures to revive economy in 2013, but trends of the sluggish economic and the political instability were so strong that the merger and acquisition activity still slowed down to a total nearly 5,000 deals worth close to the 30 billion, but the momentum is set to pick up in year 2014, where first 8 months have already been seen mergers and acquisition transaction worth total of the over 32 billion. The terms mergers, acquisition, and takeovers are often used interchangeably in common parlance. However, there are differences. While the merger means the unification of the two entity into one, acquisition involves one entity buying out another and absorbing the same. Here, the meaning of the merger and acquisition are clearly given. While the merger means unification of the two entities into one, acquisition involves one entity buying out another and absorbing the same. In India, in legal sense, merger is known as the amalgamation. The amalgamation can be by merger of the company with the provision of the Companies Act, the acquisition through takeover. While takeover are regularly SEBI, merger acquisition deals fall under the Company Act. In cross-border transaction, international tax consideration also arise. Halsbury's Law of England define amalgamation as a blending of the two or more existing undertaking, the shareholders of the each amalgamating company becoming substantially the shareholder in amalgamating company. According in a merger, two or more company combined into the single unit. The term amalgamation is used when two or more companies are amalgamated or where one is merged with the another or taken over by the another. In Inland Steam Navigation Workers Union, RS Navigation Company, it was observed that in case of the amalgamation, the rights and liability of the company are amalgamated into another so that the transferee company becomes vested with all rights and liability of the transfer company. An acquisition is when both the acquiring and the acquired company are still left standing as separate entity at the end of the transaction. A merger results in legal dissolution of one of the company and a consolidation dissolves both of the party and creates a new one into which the previous entity are merged. Corporate takeovers were started by the Swaraj Pal when he tried to take over Escorts. The other major takeovers are that of the Ashok Leyland by the Hinduja, so Wellock, Dunlop, and Falcon tried to the Chavaria Group. Seat Tires by the Goenka, and the Consolidated Coffee by the Tata Tea. The BFR arranged for the takeover of the company by giants like ITC, McDonald's, Lakshmi Machine Works, and the Somani Group. Some of the companies, how the corporate takeover is given here. Many new companies are being incorporated as a result of the fast-growing industrialization of the country, which is mainly dependent on agriculture. With the new trends of the globalization, not only in this country but also worldwide, there has been increasing interaction of the company and person of one country with those other country. Today, corporate structuring has gained momentum and undertaking, and companies are merging, demerging, divesting, and taking in or taking over company and undertaking, both unregistered and registered in India and outside. Against this corporate backdrop, merger and acquisition have to be encouraged in the interest of the general public and for the promotion of the industry and trade. At the same time, the government has to safeguard the interest of the citizen, the consumers, and the investors on the one hand and the shareholder, creditors, and employee workers on the other. The merger and acquisition of the company are governed by the company law in India, which has undergone a complete overhaul and a new law passed in 2013. Till April 1, 2014, 283 sections of the Company Act 2003 have been brought up into force, and the provision relating to the merger counted in section 230 to 240 of the Company Act 2013, which are yet to be notified. Until then, this court-driven process will continue to be governed by the section 391 to the 396 of the Company Act 1956. A special restructuring process such as the reconstruction of the Sikh Industrial Company invested by the Sikh Industry, a special provision act 1985, and revival of the financially unviable company invested by the section 71 of the Income Tax Act 1961. However, all such merger and acquisition are governed for the control through the relevant provisions of the Foreign Exchange Management Act 99, Income Tax Act 1961, Industries Act 1951, the Competition Act 2002, the restriction imposed by the other relevant act including SEBI Act 99, as the case may be. Amalgamation signifies the transfer of all or some part of the assets and liability of the one or more than one existing company to another existing company or to other existing company to a new company, of which transferee company or all the members of the transfer company become or have the right of becoming members, and generally such amalgamation is accomplished by voluntary winding of the transfer company or the company. Under an amalgamation, merger, takeover, two or more companies are merged either the de jure by consolidation of the undertaking to the de facto by the acquisition of a controlling interest in the share capital of the other, the capital bought by the new company. Amalgamation is a state of things under which either two companies are so joined to form a third entity or one is absorbed into or blended with the another. Generally, where only one company is involved in the scheme and the rights of the shareholder and creditors are verified, it amounts to the reconstruction or reorganization or the scheme of the arrangement. In an amalgamation, two or more companies are fused into one merger or by taking over the other. Amalgamation is a blending of two or more existing undertaking into one undertaking. The shareholders of the each branding company become substantially the shareholder of the company which is to carry on the blended undertaking. There may be amalgamation either by a transfer of the two or more undertaking to a new company or by the transfer of more undertaking into an existing company. Strictly, amalgamation does not cover the more acquisition by a company and the share capital of the other company which remains in existence and continue its undertaking, but the context in which term is used may show that it is intended to include such an acquisition. Types of the mergers. How many types of the mergers are there? It can be shown here. There are the 5 types of the mergers are there. Horizontal merger, vertical merger, congruent merger, congeneric merger, reverse merger. These are the types of the merger. A merger is generally understood to be a fusion of the two companies. The term merger means and signifies the dissolution of one or more company or firms or proprietors to form get observed into another company. By concept, merger increases the size of the undertaking. Following are the major 3 types of the mergers. Horizontal mergers. The two companies which have merged are in the same industry normally, and market share of the new consolidated company would be larger, and it is possible that it may solve closer to being a monopoly or near a monopoly to avoid the competition. Horizontal merger will create a monopoly. Vertical merger. The merger happens when two companies that have buyer-seller relationship come together, or potential buyer-seller relationship come together. Conglomerate merger. Such mergers involve firms engaged in unrelated type of the business operation. In other words, the business activity of acquire and the target are neither related to each other horizontally or nor vertically. In a pure congruent merger, there are no important common factors between the company in the production, marketing, research and development and technology. There may, however, be some degree of the overlapping in one or more of these common factors, such as a merger are in fact unification of the different kind of the businesses under one flagship company. The purpose of the merger remains utilization of the financial resources, enlarge debt capacity, and also synergy of the managerial function. Congruent merger. In this merger, the acquirer and the target company are related through the basic technology, production processes, or market. The acquired company represents an extension of the product line, market participation, or technology of the acquirer. These mergers represent an outward movement by the acquirer from its current business scenario to other related business activity within the overarching industry structure. Reverse merger. Such mergers involve acquisition of a public shell company by a private company, as it helps private company to bypass lengthy and complex process required to be followed in case it is interested in the going public. Sometimes it may be possible that a public company continuously a public traded corporation, but it has no or very little assets. What remains only its internal structure and the shareholders. This type of the merger is also known as the backdoor listing. This kind of the merger has been started as an alternative to go for the public issue without incurring huge expenses and passing through cumbersome process. Thus, it can be said that the reverse merger leads to the following benefits of the acquiring company. Easy access to the capital market, increase in visibility of the company in corporate world, tax benefits on carrying forward losses acquired public company, cheaper and easier route to become a public company. Reasons and rationales for the merger and acquisition. Now we will discuss about the reasons and rationales for the merger and acquisition. The most common reasons for the merger and acquisition are the synergic operating economy. Synergy may be defined as follow: VAB, PA plus VB. In other words, the combined value of the two firms or companies shall be more than their individual value. Synergy is the increase in the performance of the combined firm over that the two firms are already expected or required to accomplish as independent firm. Mark a Sirior or Boston consecutive in the synergy tip. This may be result of the complementary services, economies of scale, or the both. A good example of the complementary activity can be a company may have a good networking of the branches and other company may have efficient production system. Thus, the merger company will be efficient than individual company. On similar lines, economies of the large scale is also one of the reasons for the synergy benefit. The main reason is that the large scale production result in lower average cost of the production, reduction in overhead cost on account of the sharing of the central services such as accounting and financing, office executive, top level management, legal, sales and promotion, and advertisement, etc. These economy can be really arising out of the risk reduction in factor input per unit of the output, whereas the precautionary economy are realized from paying lower prices for factor inputs or the bulk transaction. Number two reason is the diversification. In case of the merger between two unrelated companies would lead to the reduction in business risk, which in turn will increase the market value consequent upon the reduction of the discount rate, required rate of the return, normally greater the combination of the statistically independent or negatively correlated income streams of the merged company, there will be a higher reduction in the business risk in comparison to the company having income streams which are positively correlated to each other. Taxation. The provision of set of carry forward of the losses as per the Income Tax Act may be another strong reason for the merger and acquisition. Thus, there will be the tax saving or reduction in the tax liability of the merged firm. Similarly, in the case of the acquisition, the losses of the target company will be allowed to be set up against the profits of the acquiring company. Growth. Merger and acquisition made enables the firm to grow at a rate faster than the other mode, as the organic growth. The reason being the shortening of the time of the market, the acquiring company avoids delay associated with the purchasing of the building, site, setting of the plant and hierarchical person, etc. Consolidation and the production capacity and increasing market power. Due to the reduced competition, marketing power increases. Further, production capacity is increased by the combine of the two or more plants. The following table shows the key rationale of the sum of the well-known transaction which took place in India in the recent past. Rationale for the merger and acquisition. Airtel Loop Mobile in 2014. Airtel backs top spot in Mumbai telecom circle. Instantaneous growth, snuffing out competition, increased market share. Google and Motorola 2001. Google got access to the Motorola 70,000 issued patent and 75,000 application. Acquisition of a competence for a capability. Airtel and Jain Telecom. Airtel enters 55 nations of the African continent in one shot. Entry into new market product segment. Ranbaxy and Sun Pharma. Directly Sankyo and the sold Ranbaxy to generate fund. Access to the funds. Tax benefit. Burger King US and the Tim Hortons Canada 2014. Burger King could have set taxes in future. Tax benefit. Facebook and WhatsApp. Facebook acquired its biggest threat in the chat space. Instantaneous growth, snuffing out competition, increased market share. Flipkart and the Mantra. Flipkart poised to strengthen its competency in April e-commerce market, acquisition of a competition or a capability. Cargill and the Wipro. Cargill acquired sunflower vanaspati oil business to enter Western India market. Entry into new market product segment. JP and Ultratech. JP sold its cement into Rise funds for the cutting of its debt. Access to the funds. Durga Projects Limited and the WPCL. DPL's loss could be a carry forward and set up. This is the tax benefit. it is given. Amalgamation is affected basically for the growth and sometimes for the image. Some of the objectives which amalgamation may be resorted to are the horizontal growth to achieve optimum size, to enlarge the market share, to curb competition, or to use unutilized capacity. Vertical combination with a view to economizing cost and eliminating avoidable sales tax or the excise duty. Diversification of the business. Mobilizing of the financial resources by the utilizing the ideal funds lying with the another company or the expansion of the business. For example, nationalization of the bank provided this opportunity and the Eastwell Banking Company merged with the industrial company. Merger of an export, investment or trading company with an industrial company or vice versa with a view to increasing cash flow. Merging subsidiary company with the holding company with a view to improving cash flow. Taking over a sale company which may have the necessary industrial licenses but whose promoters don't wish to proceed with the project. An amalgamation may also be resorted to for the purpose of nourishing a stake unit into the group, and this is normally a merger of keeping up the impact of the group. Gains from the merger or the synergy. The first step in merger analysis is to identify the economic gains from the merger. There are gains if the combined entity is more than the sum of its parts. That is the combined value, value of the acquired, stand value of the target. The difference between the combined value and the sum of the value individual company is usually attributed to synergy. Value of the acquired plus stand alone value of the target, value of the synergy. This is known as the combined value. There is also a cost attached to an acquisition. The cost of acquisition is the price premium paid over the market value plus other cost of the integration. Therefore, the net gain is the value of the synergy minus premium paid. The following depicts the synergy equation. Equation need not be made with the synergy in mind. It is possible to make money for the synergy equation as well, as can be seen. Seen from the exhibit, operating improvements are a being source of the value creation. Better post-merger integration could lead to the abnormal returns, even when the acquiring company is in the unrelated business. Obviously, the merger talent is the single most important instrument in creating value by the cutting down cost, improving revenue and operating profit margin. Cash flow position extra many a time executive compensation is tied to the performance in the post-merger period. Providing equity stake in the company induces executive to think and behave like the shareholder. Value of the acquirer, standalone value, value of the synergy, combined value, transaction cost. This is exhibit the merger gains. This is the combined value of the acquirer, value of the synergy, and the transaction cost. This is the combined value. There are 5 principal steps in the successful merger and acquisition program. Manage the pre-acquisition phase, screen candidates, eliminate those who don't meet the criteria and the value rest. Negotiate post-merger integration. During the pre-acquisition phase, the acquirer should maintain secrecy about its intention. Otherwise, the resulting price increase due to the rumors may kill the deal. Scheme of the amalgamation or the merger. The scheme of the arrangement or proposal for a merger is the heart of the process and has to be drafted with care. There is no prescribed form of a scheme, and it is designed to suit the terms and conditions relevant to the proposal and should take care of any special feature peculiar to the arrangement. An essential component of a scheme is the provision for vesting all the assets and liability of the transfer company in its transferee company. If the transferee company does not want to take over any asset or liability, the transferor company, before finalizing the draft scheme, should dispose of it for the settle. Otherwise, the scheme would be considered defective and incomplete, and the court would sanction it. It is equally important to define the effective date from which the scheme is intended to come into operation. This would save time and labor in explaining to the court and the intention behind the using several description in the scheme. According to an order of the central government under Section 396 of the Company Act, the entire business and undertaking of the transferee company shall be transferred to and vested with the transferee company on the day when it is notified in the official gazette. For accounting purpose, the amalgamation shall be effected with reference to the audited account and balance sheet as a particular date of the two company, and the transaction thereafter shall be pulled into a common account. Another aspect relates to the valuation of the shares to decide the exchange ratio. Objections have been raised to the method of the valuation even in cases where the scheme had been approved by a large majority of the shareholders and the financial institutions as lenders. The court have declared their unwillingness to engage in a study of the fitness of the mode of the valuation. A high court stated there are bound to be differences of opinion as of what the correct value of the shares of the company is, simply because it is possible to value the share in a manner different from the one adopted in a given case. It cannot be said that the valuation agreed upon has been unfair. Similarly, in case of the Hindustan Lever, the Supreme Court held that it would not interfere with the valuation of the shares. Then more than 99% of the shareholders have approved the scheme, and the valuation having been pursued by the financial institution. The position of employee also has to be clearly set out. The employment contract is a contract of the personal service which may not be transferred by an order of the court and may not have an effect of making an employee of the transfer company as an employee of the transferee company. The scheme should be provided for the transfer of all employees to transferee company on the same terms and conditions of service without any break in service. In the event of the transferee company not willing to observe any of the employee through the merger, the transfer company should settle those employees with the applicable law before the scheme is put through. Accounting for the amalgamation. Accounting Standard 4 on accounting for the amalgamation issued by the Institute of the Chartered Accountant of India, which came into effect in respect of the accounting period commencing on or after April 195 is mandatory. This statement deals with the accounting for amalgamation and the treatment of any resultant goodwill or reserves. The standard prescribes two methods of accounting for amalgamation, namely the pooling of the interest method, the purchase method. The pooling of the interest method is the confined of circumstances which meet the criteria referred to in the definition of amalgamation in the nature of the merger. The object of the purchase method is to account for the amalgamation by applying the same principle as are applied in the normal purchase of the assets. The method is used in accounting of the amalgamation in the nature of the purchase under the purchase method. The transferee company accounts for the amalgamation either by the incorporating the assets and liability at their existing carry-out amount by allocating the consideration of the individual identifiable assets and liability of the transfer company on the basis of their fair value at the date of the amalgamation. The standard prescribes that if at the time of amalgamation the transferor and the transferee company have conflicting accounting policy, a uniform accounting policy must be adopted following the amalgamation. Problems for merger and acquisition in India. Indian corporates are largely promoted, controlled, and managed. The ownership stake should, in the normal course, innovate any rational judgment of the sensitive issue. It is difficult for either of the two promoters to voluntarily relinquish management control in favor to others. As a merger between the two companies, in some cases, the need for period negotiation and concurrence of the financial institution and banks is an added rider besides SEBI's rule and regulation. The reluctance of the financial institution and banks to fund acquisition directly. The BFIR route, although tedious, is preferred for obtaining a financial concession. Lack of the exact policy for restructuring, downsizing. Absence of the efficient capital market system makes the market capitalization not fair in some cases. Valuation is still evolving in India. According to 2000 report of the grant of the Thornton India LLP and the SOCHM, the following are the some of the key trends that are visible in Indian merger and acquisition space. There is a strategic shift in the behavior pattern of the Indian promoters. They are now willing to cash out their ownership and control in age-old company that they have been managing for a very long time. Illustration are the Daiichi Sankyo acquisition of the Ranbaxy International Paper acquiring AP paper mills from the Bangor and Adopt Labs buying out the Ajay Pimbal's generic drug division. Corporate governance becoming an important driver for the merger acquisition deal closure. Private equity has started playing a key role in India merger and acquisition landscape. Metals and minerals would continue to be the important for India's national policy, especially the overseas coal assets for the power sector. 2012 budget proposal in the particular JR could lead to the repricing of deals and impact deal sentiment. New competition law could potentially delay merger acquisition deal closure. Once the takeover code takes effect, promoters will have to stay alert as acquirers and the PE players can acquire stakes up to the 24.9% without triggering an open offer. Many Indian promoters run their company with stakes in the range of the 20-30%, and they may now need to the strategically thinking of increasing their equity holding. We have discussed about the problems for the merger and acquisition in India, accounting for the amalgamation, gains from the mergers or the synergy, rationale for the merger and acquisition, reasons for rationale for merger and acquisition, types of the mergers, introduction. Mergers and acquisition and the restructuring.